Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody, and welcome to the Welcome Home to You network. I have the lovely Rebecca McCord with me, and she is a healthy belly coach. Now, she's up in northern Canada, and so there's plenty of healthy bellies up there. So Rebecca, I'm going to ask you to tell us all about it. Specifically do you mean now by healthy belly?
Yeah, that's such a good question. I think we've learned so much over these last years as it's become more of a household name about gut health and everything that affects in our life. So, even Hippocrates said all disease begins in the gut.
Yeah.
So I learned that about 10 years ago, started kind of delving into that for my daughter and I, with some allergy issues, and went to naturopath and tried some other things, but it was just um, not in our budget. We ranch up here in northern northern Canada, so I was like, oh, I guess we'll keep living on Claritin or whatever it is, which I didn't like either. But so I started kind of delving in. My friend had some gut health products that they were loving, and that it was kind of getting to the root of that leaky gut issue, your allergies, autoimmune issues, all that. So I was like, interesting. So I just started going down those trails of learning about gut health, learning about Candida fungus overgrowth, and really how that ties into everything. Um, Kind of gets the root of the issue, inflammation, blood sugar, how that affects all the hormones, all of that. So, and then also learning more about the vagus nerve, and getting some stuff together that can work on stimulating that. And then of course that affects every organ in the body. So it's been quite a really fun journey. Just getting to help lots of people with issues that just have them stranded in life, not able to really thrive. So that's what started me down that exploration and learning path. And it's been really cool. Joined some great women's wellness groups and those kinds of things, and gotten more exposure. So yeah, I have just some of the little tools in the toolbox of the whole wellness and health and all that. And so everybody has their part they play. So it's been a really rewarding, very fun journey. So yeah,
Well,
and thank you so much for having me on today,
oh,
Declan.
my pleasure, my pleasure. And it's great to see people taking back control of their health.
Hmm.
And especially with the gut. Now, we just mentioned the gut, but you mentioned a whole heap of things. So when people just think about the gut, it's a lot more than just the gut. So
Yeah.
is there any special foods that you would recommend for people, or any special diets, or would you recommend any diets, or any special foods for people?
What I do, I start with of course water is a huge thing. People aren't
Mm,
A lot of people. I mean, we're more cognizant of it nowadays, of course, but water's a big deal. People are like, well, where can I start? But what I did is I decided to partner with some products that really start to break down that candida fungus in the gut.
okay.
So you start to see good results with that, because I found, like, there's lots of good health coaches that will work on your diet, they'll work on your exercise regimen and all that, which is really good, super important. But I work with people that are coming from the place of such brain fog and survival mode that it's hard to tell them, okay, let's fix better meals, let's go to the gym. It's just not even a starting point for them in their
Yeah,
life. So then it's too overwhelming, so they'll never start. So then did something pop
you'd
up
have
on my
products then for.
so sorry, something was popping up on my. So I
That's okay.
decided to partner with some products that can just come alongside where they're at,
Mm,
which is barely
brilliant.
surviving, getting through their job so they can get home to the couch, kind of thing,
Yeah,
or they're trying to have it all pulled together, but their IBS is out of control, or they can't even eat and go out in public. There's just so many
mm,
hidden issues that you don't look at somebody and realize, oh my gosh, they are living with some awful things every day of their life. So that's where I decided to do. I do the more supplement, a special supplement,
right.
several like a mix of some supplements that really target why your body is failing you. And then as you start it within a few days or whatever, you can kind of start to climb out of that hole. And then start to think about better food choices, better exercise choices, all of that. So yeah, I come in and kind of I've got a really special probiotic that targets the Candida fungus in the gut. So that really wreaks so much havoc, compromises our immune system. It colonizes inside of our colon. And it's just supposed to be a little bit that we're born with to kind of eat the dead stuff, debris and stuff in our colon. And it ends up just flourishing and trying to take over the gut, which
Yeah.
then starts to perforate, the lining of the colon. Then you're starting to get the brain gut signals messed up. And
Yeah.
that's the signals that are going to tell you the serotonin, the melatonin, all of those things that your body produces. It's starting to mess all that up too, along with your body starting to attack itself with an autoimmune disease or your pancreas not working well, your insulin resistance. So all of that really comes from the gut. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
And
So
it's,
yeah,
it's it's brilliant that you're getting people where they're at, and like you said, you're not trying to give them any complicated recipes or that you have to do this, you have to do that. But by starting them off on the supplements, it helps the body then to start to getting better, and
yeah,
it puts them in a better place where they can make better decisions.
hmm
So that's
yeah.
that's brilliant.
And then if they're open-minded, we can go into parasites. We can talk about there's
Yeah.
lots of rabbit holes you can go down depending how desperate someone is. But I just feel like, and I like to help entrepreneurs and um, people that are really passionate about business or executives or whatever, and they've got a crippling health issue that
Mm,
just really keeps them from maxing out their potential because they have to like, oh, I've got to be careful like when I eat or all of these things, or they've got to really mask that pain, that inflammation that's just hounding them constantly. Any of those things that are just kind of holding people back from really reaching their full potential in what they're passionate about. I feel like I can come alongside and just say, hey, just do this.
yeah.
Let's start with this regimen. I recommend these couple supplements, or depending which country you're in, what's
Yeah.
available, right? So so it's been really it's exciting to help people. Then they don't. That's one less thing they have to think about as they get to dream
Exactly.
and plan
Yeah.
and strategize. Right? Just if they don't have this health issue nagging at them constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
And
yeah,
of course you make it so easy for them to turn around by giving them
yeah,
supplements, proper supplements is going to help them
yeah.
to change their body and to make their body better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I take it you work online. Le-
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. I do.
yeah.
I do. I've got local people too, and then we meet up for coffee or whatever. Um, but yes, so I work online, and I'll give you my websites. I've got
Do you
RebeccaMcCord.com. So, and then I've got healthybellycoach.com. So I've got a
lovely
couple
stuff.
things going. So,
And you'll be able to put all your links on the
yes.
replay then as well. So that'll be great, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I still have I keep getting this vision of what was that like Yellowstone when they're way out in Montana, that type of picture,
Yes.
I
It,
could be
we
far.
actually, yeah, we actually cross a river to get to
Okay.
the ranch. So when it's not low enough or frozen, then we got to go around the longer way.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. That sounds beautiful.
but yeah, we're very blessed, very blessed. So, and we eat clean. So that was why when we had some health issues, and my daughter was getting bad allergies when we're working
Hmm.
with show cattle and stuff too. So, um, you're starting to live on Claritin. I didn't like that for her as a teenager. So we were a couple months into trying this regimen, these supplements, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't." She was only, I think, 14 or so at the time, and she said, "I didn't. Oh, mom, I didn't realize I felt bad till I feel so much better, right?" And
Yeah,
because I mean, we have our own beef, and we have, so it's not like we were unhealthy. It's just you don't know what it populates in your gut when you're born, everything passed down. So it's very fascinating to learn how you can remedy a lot of issues.
yeah,
And I always say, you can have a lot of problems in life, but as soon as your health goes, you only have one. So it's
that's it.
pretty. It's pretty. I know I see people on TV and stuff, and they're struggling. I'm like, oh, wish I could reach out to them. They could feel so much better in days. So
Yeah, and like I said, your health is your wealth. If you don't have good
it
health, whew,
really is. It
yeah,
really
yeah,
is.
yeah.
That's what I realized. I was starting to get so draggy and sleepy, and little aches
Mm.
and pains were coming up, and still just in my 40s. I was like, no, we are not going to live like this.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
so yeah, I feel very good, and it's just very fun to have something simple
yeah,
to
yeah.
help people.
And
In
it's amazing. So too, like you were saying, even though you're producing most of your own food, still there's problems with it. It seems to be that there's more and more issues with food, whether it's what's being sprayed or how it's, I don't know
yeah,
but there's a lot more issues with people
yeah,
with their
yeah,
food and with their gut especially. Yeah, it's the time we live in, I suppose. The stresses and all the
yeah.
different things.
I feel like you can. There's so much. There's only so much you can do, but you can do a lot of things to mitigate. But
Mm,
you're never going to get rid of everything that's not perfect in your life. So I'm like,
true.
okay, let's live with it. And how can we at least mitigate it?
Yeah,
Effect on our body and just, yeah,
that's it.
it's
Make the best of what we have. Yeah,
make the best
yeah,
without
yeah,
losing
yeah,
our mind, like trying to, live in a bubble. So that's not,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
not a
yeah.
fun way to live either, for sure. So
So, and I suppose like that too, supplements could be a minefield for a lot of people as well. That there's so much choice out there nowadays, and
I know.
what's good, what's not good. It's got to be a difficult choice for people.
Yeah, yeah. If you'd have told me even 15 years ago, or what, I've been, yeah, 10 years ago exactly, that I'd be helping people with their health through, I would have been like, yeah, no,
Yeah, yeah.
no, I don't. But, um, but yeah, when you get into the science of it, then there are a lot of options, but the couple I've gone with are just because I can't fault them,
Mm,
and they are kind of industry leaders and in the study of the microbiome and gut health. So it's been really
okay.
rewarding. Um, yeah, it's been really
Yeah.
exciting.
And you'll be able to put their
Absolutely.
link up too then if you want afterwards as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for sure. For
Because
sure.
it's like not only people need to help with their gut and the choices that they make, but to make it simple for them. And when you can say, well, look, get these products. I've
Yeah.
had these, they work. I
Yeah.
can stand over them. Makes a big
Yes.
difference for people. Yeah.
That's what I find. There's so many good things out there. So it really is hard. And that's why I
Mm,
just always for years was like, no, because everybody approaches you. Oh, you should try this. You should take
yeah.
this. You should. And I was just like, no, no. But when I kind of got into the science of it, and started studying that Candida fungus in the gut, um, then that's when I fell in love. I picked what I wanted, fell in love with
Yeah.
it, and realized, okay, this is basically universally helpful. There's
Yeah. Yeah.
not a person it can't help or benefit. So then I've just really enjoyed the journey. Yeah. So,
Well, definitely looking at you now, you're the picture of health. You're exuding way over the camera there, so
oh, thank you. Thank you. And it's
you're a
fun. And then
great,
we get to meet people like you and this,
yeah,
our bump groups and, all of these coaching groups. It's such a blessing to
yeah, yeah.
network all over the world. And was talking with somebody in Bali yesterday. So yeah,
Wow, yeah,
it's really, yeah,
yeah,
very exciting. Um,
yeah,
to just be a little piece of somebody's puzzle that's missing, right?
yeah. And like you said, the
Yeah.
world is getting smaller, and it's
Yes.
like you said,
Yes.
we can talk to people from all over the place.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
that's
Rebecca, is there anything that you would like to leave or anything that you'd like to add to our listeners there to help them on the road, aside from leaving your links there, which you'll be able to
yeah.
put up later?
Oh, for sure. Yes. Um, yeah, I would say just start somewhere. Some
Mm,
people are like, oh, it's just so much. I gotta change out my fridge. I've got to go get a gym membership. Or I would just say, just start, just maybe drink some more water, glasses of water a
mm,
day. Try to get up to half your body weight in ounces. And then just start cutting out, maybe start with cutting out some of the sugar that you would
mm.
consume in the day and just little choices like that. If you can even walk one block, start somewhere. And that, I mean, that's for people that are really down and out. But yeah, don't if you have too big of a bite you're trying
Challenge.
to,
Yeah,
to chew, then it's not going to work.
There you go.
Sorry.
that's all
So
right. The little
anyways,
man is welcome.
working
That's
from
okay.
home,
No
right?
problem. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
get
Well,
to
that's it.
get to
And that's fine as well because I'm sure the little man has got loads to say.
he usually rides in the tractor with his mama. They've been seeding, so but he is wanted a day home today, so it's fun.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Anyways, but yeah, so that's what I would say. Just start little. Start with getting
Yeah.
some more water in. Start with cutting out some things just
Mm,
really hinder your health, and then look to see what supplementation you could start with that'll just kickstart your body.
exactly.
Because you
Yeah.
can,
I
I
would.
mean, you can heal your body by being like super disciplined and
Mhm.
perfect. But anytime you veer off of that,
Yeah.
then it's
Yeah. And not
too,
everybody is like that. So
too,
as I said,
it's very
we need
hard.
to start.
Yeah.
Yeah. You need to start where you are.
Yeah.
So viewers, people, if if this is resonating with you, if you're finding that you have brain fog or you're bloated or feeling just a little bit okay,
Mhm.
reach out and contact Rebecca there. For you never know, you might find that there's something that she can help you with. You know,
Yeah.
that we all can suffer from these things at these days and age, and we need to sort of be proactive and sort of observe and take action. So, Rebecca, is there any final words that you would like to say to our viewers, or
I'm so honored that you had me on, Declan. I really appreciate that. And I'll do the same. Looking forward to inviting you on and
oh,
and seeing what you do because it's been fun to see your bio a bit. So yeah, thank you so much. And just start somewhere. That's what I tell people. Just start baby steps if your health is really poor and we can get there. We can, yeah. And I'm happy to
lovely.
reach out, have a chat with anybody that would
Thank you
like
very
to.
much, Rebecca. And
Thank you.
Rebecca's links will be up on the comments later on. So please feel free to reach out to Rebecca because she'll be able to help you with your good issues. So that's
Yeah.
it for Coming Home to You Network. Enjoy the rest of your day or morning or wherever you are happen to be.